Henry and the firework display. Henry was in a bit of a muddle. He had taken a shine to Henrietta, who lived by the vast oak tree at the Cow Parsley Vale. They had met at primary school and been friends, it seemed, forever. Now there was a flutter in Henry's heart whenever he saw her. That, though, wasn't the problem. Around the same time, the hearts of his mice friends, Mike and Mark, had also started fluttering for each other. But that wasn't the issue either. Henry was thrilled that his heart was sparkling for Henrietta, and that Mike and Mark's hearts were tingling too. The muddle arose because some of the animals were being nasty to Mike and Mark and saying cruel things to them. At night, it made Henry cry. He could feel the pain it must cause his friends, the same pain as if the animals were being unpleasant towards him and Henrietta. He decided that he had to do something. But what? In the morning, he wrote invitations on oak leaves to all the forest animals, inviting them to a spectacular firework display the following Saturday. Soon everyone was chattering excitedly about Henry's plan and looking forward to the sky being turned into 1,000-coloured sparkles of light. Otter explained to her young that it would be as though the night was a bed of soil suddenly filled with flower blooms and blossoms, a garden to take your breath away and fill you with wonder. The children were especially thrilled. The very young could cover their ears if the bangs were frightening, and then they could marvel at the vibrant colours weaving their magic across the twinkling stars. The endless wait until Saturday finally brought everyone to Henry's garden, along with the milky moon, who didn't want to miss a moment of the excitement. Henrietta, looking as pretty as a buttercup, and Henry flushed red when he saw her. He thought he could see a tinge of pink in her cheeks too. He spotted Mike and Mark, who looked rather upset, but were trying to be brave, coping with the scowls and frowns that came their way from some of the animals. "Let the fireworks begin!" Henry exclaimed, and a hush fell on the forest. Suddenly, a flash of light illuminated the night sky, followed by more and more, until from the pines to the cedars the heavens above were ablaze. After only a few minutes, it was all over. The animals looked troubled and began to whisper together. The young were confused and agitated, pulling at their parents' arms and complaining. Henry watched and waited. Finally, Badger stepped forward and, being careful with his choice of words, said, "Thank you, Henry, for this fine firework display. However, the animals want to know why all the fireworks were white There were no colours at all, just white, white, and more white. Yes, said Henry, but the display isn't finished yet. You see, if all the fireworks were the same, and there was no variety, and no colour, oh, life would be very tedious, wouldn't it? He then called over to Mike and Mark. Everyone turned to look at them. They were standing by the rhododendron bush, holding hands. "Can you help?" Henry asked. "Yes," they answered with a smile. "Shall we begin our firework display?" At that, the sky erupted into a kaleidoscope of colours, and the eyes of the animals opened wide, their faces alight with joy. After that night, no one was mean to Mike and Mark, or made cruel comments about them. They had realised that differences make the world such a wonderful place.